everyone! Welcome back to the Daily English Studio. In this lesson, we're going to talk about a situation that happens all the time. You understand English well, but when it's time to speak, your mind goes blank, or maybe you can only speak a few words. So today I'm going to teach you 1. The secret reason why some students understand English well but can't speak. And 2. How to fix it so that you can finally start speaking confidently. So let me ask you something. Do you understand English very well but struggle to speak? Do you watch movies and TV shows easily but have trouble speaking with native speakers? Do you want to be able to speak fluently without translating in your head? If you answered yes, then this video is for you. Let us begin with the secret reason why some students understand English very well but can't speak. First of all, let's look at understanding. To understand, we need to listen and recognize words, right? But listening and recognizing is easier than speaking. For example, you can probably recognize these words very easily: cat, dog, book, house, water, happy, sad, 1, 2, 3. But now, let's turn it into a conversation. You probably find this dialogue much more challenging to understand, right? Or maybe you still understood everything. But if you are a beginner-level student, you probably struggled to follow along. Now imagine being in this situation but with everyday conversations. Maybe you understand the general idea of the conversation but not every single word? That's okay. We can't always understand every word. But if you understand the general idea, or about 80% of what someone is saying, that's enough. So generally, it's much easier to understand English than to speak it. Next, let's talk about the reason why some students understand English well but struggle to speak. One reason is that students tend to study English passively. This means they read or listen but don't practice speaking. Learning a language is like learning anything new. If you want to get good at something, you need to practice regularly. It's like going to the gym. If you only go once, you won't build any muscles. But if you go regularly, you'll get stronger and stronger. The same is true for English. If you practice speaking every day, you'll improve quickly, but if you don't, you won't be able to use the language and it will be hard to speak. Another reason is that many students don't use the words they learn in their everyday life. Imagine you are studying English but only learning new vocabulary from books or online. You don't ever practice using these new words with other people. Over time, you will forget the words because you never use them. So you need to learn new words and use them right away. This is how you remember them. Finally, another reason why some students understand English well but can't speak is that they do unpracticed speaking with native speakers. If you always study and practice with other students who are learning English, you will become better at speaking with other students. But speaking with native speakers is much more challenging. The speed, pronunciation, and vocabulary can be difficult to understand, which makes it hard to speak. But don't worry, I'll teach you how to do it in this video. Okay, so now let's talk about how to overcome this problem. How can you go from struggling to speak to having fluent conversations in English? No. 1. Understand that you don't have to be perfect. Don't worry about making mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes when they are learning a new language. In fact, even native speakers make mistakes. So don't worry if you're not perfect. Just relax and enjoy the process of learning English. No. 2. Practice speaking every day. It's important to practice speaking every day. Even if you can only practice for 5 minutes, it's better than nothing. You can practice by talking to yourself, talking to a friend or family member, or practicing with a teacher or tutor. No. 3. Learn new words and use them immediately. Don't just learn new words and hope that you will remember them later. Use them in conversations right away. This is the best way to remember new words. No. 4. Speak with native speakers. This is the most important tip. If you want to improve your speaking skills, you need to speak with native speakers. You can find native speakers to practice with online or in person. No. 5. Stop translating in your head. Most learners translate from their native language to English before they speak. This makes speaking very slow and unnatural. Native speakers don't translate when they speak. They think directly in English. So you need to train your brain to think directly in English. This takes time, but don't worry. The next 5 tips will help you train your brain to think in English faster. Let's go to the next part of the lesson. Tip number 6. Think positive. If you think negative thoughts like I am bad at English or I can't speak, it will be difficult to improve. You need to have a positive attitude and believe that you can improve. This is the first step to success. Tip number 7. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are important because they help us learn and improve. If you're afraid to make mistakes, you will not be able to improve. So don't be afraid and make lots of mistakes. Tip 8. Be patient. Learning a new language takes time. Don't expect to be fluent in English after only 1 or 2 months of studying. It takes years to become fluent. But if you practice every day, you will improve. Tip number 9. Set goals. Setting goals will help you stay motivated and practice regularly. Make sure your goals are realistic, like learning 5 new words a day or practicing speaking for 10 minutes every day. Tip number 10. Reward yourself. When you reach your goals, give yourself a reward. This could be a small treat like watching a movie in English or buying a new English book. Rewards will help you stay motivated and practice regularly. Tip number 11. Use English every day. The more you use English, the better you will become at speaking it. So try to use English in all aspects of your life. Watch movies and TV shows in English. Listen to English music and podcasts, and read English books and articles. Tip number 12. Find a language partner. A language partner is someone who wants to learn your native language while you learn their language. This is a great way to practice speaking English because you can practice with someone who is also learning English. Tip number 13. Take classes. Taking classes will help you learn the basics of English and get feedback from a qualified teacher. This is a great way to improve your speaking skills quickly. Tip number 14. Don't give up. This is the most important tip of all. Don't ever give up on learning English. It may be challenging at times, but the rewards of being able to communicate with people all over the world are worth it. All right, now it's time for the final message of the lesson. If you want to be able to speak English fluently, you need to put in the effort to practice regularly. Use the tips I've given you today to help you improve your speaking skills and you and give up. With hard work and dedication, you can achieve your fluency goals. Before we go, let's review what we've learned. You can understand English but can't speak. There are a few reasons for this, but the good news is that you can fix it with some effort. Remember these tips. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Be patient. Set goals. Reward yourself. Use English every day. Find a language partner. Take classes and never give up. By following these tips, you'll be on your way to speaking English fluently in no time. Thanks for watching. See you next time.